Do you remember back in August when Joe Biden said this?
Your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told, your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
That's weird because Milley and McKenzie testified to this today.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan.
Yes, my assessment was back in the fall of 20, and it remained consistent throughout, that we should keep a steady state of 2,500, and it could bounce up to 3,500, maybe something like that, in order to move toward a negotiated, gated solution.
It's a simple question, Secretary Austin. He said no senior military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence behind. Is that true or not? Did these officer and General Miller's recommendations get to the president personally?
Their input was received by the president and considered by the president, for sure.
So, Mr. Producer, I need you to rewind our President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief. I want to play this again, sitting down with George Stephanopoulos, and this is what he said.
Your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true. That wasn't true.
They didn't tell you that they wanted troops to stay?
No, not in terms of whether we were going to get out in a time frame, all troops. They didn't argue against that.
So no one told, your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
Okay. Are we allowed to just speak frankly anymore? I mean, you know I'm going to anyway. Okay, so unless Milley and Austin and McKenzie, unless they're all lying, which I guess we can't discount, maybe they all got together and agreed on a lie. Unless they're all lying, Afghanistan is 100% Joe Biden's fault. The horrible fall, the Americans left behind, the 13 Americans incinerated outside of the airport in Kabul, all Joe Biden's fault. They went to him and said, no, leave these guys here. No, we'll transition this way. Joe Biden and his group of political hacks around him said, nope, everyone leave now. And now 13 Americans are dead, and we still have American hostages being held by the Taliban, and there doesn't look like a second person we can blame. Looks like it's all Joe Biden's fault.
When was that unanimous recommendation sought and presented to the president?
You're talking about the 31 August?
Yes, the 31 August deadline for getting out
on
of here.
25 August, I was asked to make an assessment and provide best military advice on...
I'm sorry, my time is limited here.
Okay.
You gave me the answer that I needed to hear. August 25th?
Correct.
Kabul fell on August 15th.
That's correct.
You were not asked before August 25th?
16th. On August 25th, I was asked to provide best military assessment as whether we should keep military forces past the 31st.
Did you catch that? 10 days. 10 days after the thing fell, somebody finally gets around to asking the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, hey, should we keep some guys here? 10 days after. I just want to point out to you, I just want everyone to remember Blinken, Biden, and Jen Psaki, while this was going on, while Kabul was falling, while people were dying, while we were losing control of a situation, they were all on vacation. They packed up their bags in the middle of the biggest foreign policy disaster in the last half century, and they all went on vacation. And Tom Cotton, to his credit, was bringing it today. And boy, this is a question I'd love the answer to.
I understand that you're the principal military advisor, that you advise, you don't decide, the president decides. But if all this is true, General Milley, why haven't you resigned?
Senator, as a Senior military officer, resigning is a really serious thing, and it's a political act if I'm resigning in protest. My job is to provide advice. My statutory responsibility is to provide legal advice or best military advice to the president, and that's my legal requirement. That's what the law is. The president doesn't have to agree with that advice. I'm not going to resign. There's no way. If the orders are illegal, we're in a different place. But if the orders are legal from civilian authority, I intend to carry them out.
He's not going to resign. Nobody's going to resign. Not one person after a 20-year disaster that ends this way. Not one politician, not one military leader is going to step up and say, I feel like this is my fault. I feel like this is on me. I'm going to resign. I'm going to step away. And let's not forget Mark Milley is the same scumbag loser who called China while he was working under President Trump and told them he would give them a heads up before we attacked. Mark Milley should be giving that testimony from the brig right now. He should be. But he won't. And nothing will happen to him. I want you to also remember when they told us Americans weren't left behind? Well, everyone who wanted out got out. Apparently not.
But first, before I do, Secretary Austin, I have to take issue with something you just said. I know this is an administration talking point. I've heard it out of the mouth of the press secretary and others. We are not leaving Americans behind. That was your quote of just a minute ago. With all due respect, sir, you have left, past tense, Americans behind. Isn't it true that you left Americans behind on August the 31st?
There were Americans that were still in Afghanistan and still
Yes.
are. We continue
Correct.
to work to try to get those Americans out.
Yeah, that's a yes. Let's not repeat, please, the frankly falsehood that we didn't leave Americans behind.
How embarrassing is that for us as a nation? That's always been our mantra. We never leave you behind. We will come get you. We are so rotted and corrupted and broken now. We just left them there. And these are our top generals, right? I mean, you saw all the stars on their shoulders and all the ribbons and medals, and these are our top guys. Surely these men know how many are there, right?
Do all of you agree that Secretary of State Blinken, when he made his analysis as to how many people would be here but would still be there, he talked about the 10 to 15,000 citizens left behind, and then evacuated some 6,000. That would mean a minimum of 4,000 would still be there now. Would anyone disagree with that? By your silence, I assume you agree.
I personally don't believe that there are 4,000 American citizens still left in Afghanistan, but I cannot confirm or deny that, Senator.
Don't you hate how these people talk? All the little legal words and outs they build in. I personally can't, but I can't confirm or deny. Oh, shut up. You bunch of scumbag liars, all of you. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.